First Contact Fallout. The Galactic Alliance observation post Stellar Sentinel drifted silently at the edge of the Orion Spur, its gleaming silver hull reflecting the light of distant stars. High Commander Varric stood motionless on the command deck, his four arms folded behind his back as he gazed out at the vast emptiness of space. For 2 millennia, the Alliance had maintained peace among its 23 member species, their combined territories spanning 5 spiral arms of the galaxy. Commander called Science Officer Jex, her voice breaking the silence. Anomalous energy readings detected at coordinates 332 Mark 87. Varric turned, the bioluminescent markings on his blue-gray skin pulsing with interest. Classification: Unknown, sir. Jex's slender fingers moved rapidly across her console. The signature doesn't match anything in our database. It's massive. Subspace rupture, announced Navigation Officer Krell, his compound eyes widening. Something's emerging. The bridge crew, representatives of 7 different Alliance species, watched in stunned silence as a vessel materialized fully at the edge of their scanning range. It was unlike anything they had ever seen. Angular and primarily dark gray with red striping along its hull. Most alarming were the unmistakable weapon ports arranged in strategic patterns across the ship's surface. Length approximately 1.2 kilometers, reported Jex, her voice barely audible. Power readings, exceeding our station by a factor of 3. Varric felt his secondary heart begin to race. In 2,000 years of space exploration, the Alliance had never encountered a ship of this design or capability. Communications Officer Mira, initiate first contact protocols, he ordered, keeping his voice level despite his growing concern. Officer Mira, her translucent skin shimmering with neural activity, activated the universal translator. Broadcasting standard greeting on all frequencies, sir. Minutes stretched into eternity. The unknown vessel maintained its position, neither advancing nor retreating. They're responding, Mira announced. Audio and visual. On screen, ordered Varric. The main view screen flickered to life, and a collective gasp rippled through the bridge. The being on screen was bilaterally symmetrical, with a soft-looking pinkish-beige face. No scales, no ridges, no carapace. It had dark hair atop its head, and only 2 eyes. Just 2, that regarded them with what Varric could only interpret as cautious curiosity. This is Captain Elena Chen of the United Earth Federation vessel Dauntless. The creature spoke in a clear, measured voice. We are on an exploration mission from Earth. We come in peace and seek diplomatic contact. Varric stepped forward. I am High Commander Varric of the Galactic Alliance observation post Stellar Sentinel. We have no record of your species or this Earth in our database. Please state your intentions and boundaries of origin. Captain Chen's expression remained composed. We are humans from the planet Earth, located approximately 1,500 light-years from this position. Our species achieved faster-than-light travel 30 Earth years ago. This is our first expedition beyond our local star cluster. The bridge crew exchanged bewildered glances. Science Officer Jex quickly accessed the database. Sir, Jex whispered to Varric, there's no record of any spacefaring species matching their description in our archives. Our last survey of that region was over 300 cycles ago. Varric considered this information carefully. For an entire spacefaring species to develop unnoticed was unprecedented. More concerning was their ship, clearly designed with significant military capability. Captain Chen, Varric said, your vessel appears to be heavily armed for an exploration mission. The Alliance maintains peace through strict armament limitations for all member worlds. A slight smile appeared on Chen's face. Commander Varric, humanity evolved on a planet with significant natural threats. Our tendency to prepare for worst-case scenarios has served us well. The Dauntless is equipped for defense, but our mission is genuinely peaceful. We seek knowledge and potential allies, not conquest. Before Varric could respond, Alarm signals blared across both vessels. "Commander," Officer Krell called out. "3 vessels decloaking at Mark 115. The view screen split to show 3 predatory-looking ships appearing seemingly from nowhere, their hulls covered in jagged protrusions. They matched no known Alliance design. "Valhari raiders," Varix growled. "They've attacked 3 outposts in this sector during the last cycle." On her side of the screen, Captain Chen was receiving reports from her crew. "Commander, these match the profile of vessels that attacked one of our survey ships near the Pleiades cluster last month. The raider ships accelerated toward the observation post, weapon systems powering up." "Defensive positions," ordered Varix. "Alert Alliance headquarters and request reinforcements." "Commander Varix." Chen's voice cut through the chaos. "The Dauntless stands ready to assist. These raiders appear to be our common enemy." Varix hesitated. Alliance protocols explicitly forbade military cooperation with unknown species without Council approval. Yet the observation post's defenses were minimal, designed to repel small threats, not a coordinated Valhari attack. Before he could decide, the raiders opened fire. Energy beams lanced toward the stellar sentinel, striking its shields with devastating force. "Shields at 60% from a single volley," reported Defense Officer Zoll, alarm evident in his rumbling voice. Suddenly, the human ship moved with astonishing speed, positioning itself between the observation post and the raiders. What happened next left the Alliance crew speechless. The Dauntless deployed a previously invisible energy screen that absorbed the raider attacks completely. Then it responded, not with wild, unfocused fire, but with precise, surgical strikes. Beams of blue energy erupted from its weapon ports, each finding its mark with uncanny accuracy. 2 raider ships veered off, trailing debris and venting atmosphere, while the third exploded in a brilliant flash. "Their targeting systems are perfect," whispered Jex in awe. Each shot disabled a specific weapon system or engine component. The raiders, clearly not expecting such resistance, jumped to subspace, leaving only debris behind. Commander Varix stared at the view screen where Captain Chen stood calmly directing her crew. "Well, Commander," Chen said, turning back to the screen. "It seems we have much to discuss." Varix nodded slowly, acutely aware that the galaxy had just become infinitely more complex. "Indeed we do, Captain. Indeed we do." The Grand Assembly Hall of the Alliance Central World buzzed with voices as representatives from all 23 member species gathered for the emergency session. The soaring dome of transparent crystal offered a view of twin moons hanging in the lavender sky, but few delegates spared a glance upward. All attention was focused on the holographic display showing the human vessel Dauntless. Representative Thrix pounded his armored fist on the circular table, his exoskeleton clicking with agitation. "These humans appear from nowhere with technology that rivals our most advanced ships. They must be contained before they upset the balance we've maintained for millennia." Voices of agreement rumbled through the chamber, particularly from the militaristic species that had always pushed for stronger Alliance defenses. Ambassador Lyra rose from her seat, her luminous feather-like appendages spreading slightly in the traditional gesture of seeking reason. "The Dauntless defended our observation post without hesitation. Had they wished us harm, they could have allowed the raiders to destroy it, then eliminated them afterward. Or perhaps they merely wished to demonstrate their power," countered Thrix. "A psychological tactic before demanding concessions." First Speaker Olm, the eldest member of the Council and representative of one of the Alliance's founding species, raised a hand for silence. His translucent skin revealed the slow, deliberate movement of fluids that indicated deep thought. "High Commander Varix," Olm said, his voice surprisingly robust coming from such a delicate-looking being. "You encountered these humans directly. What is your assessment?" Varix stepped forward, the memory of the encounter still fresh. "They are unlike any species we have previously encountered. Their ship shows technological approaches that differ fundamentally from our own. What struck me most was their decision-making speed. Captain Chen made tactical choices in seconds that would take our command structure minutes to process. That sounds dangerously unpredictable, observed Thrix. It could be, admitted Varix. But it also makes them formidable potential allies against threats like the Valhari raiders. Ambassador Lyra nodded. I've reviewed the combat data. They disabled 2 raider ships while destroying only 1, demonstrating both restraint and tactical flexibility. What do these humans want? Asked first speaker Olm, bringing focus back to the central question. They claim to seek knowledge and peaceful contact, answered Varix. Their preliminary data shows their civilization spans approximately 50 star systems, tiny by our standards. But their technological development rate is concerning. Science Elder Mox activated a holographic display showing a timeline. Based on the information they've shared, humans progressed from primitive atmospheric flight to faster-than-light travel in less than 300 years. This development curve is unprecedented. A murmur ran through the assembly. Most Alliance species had taken thousands of years to achieve similar technological milestones. Meanwhile, aboard the Dauntless, Captain Alina Chen stood in the ship's strategic command center. Displays showed Alliance comm traffic, power distributions, and defense patterns that the ship's advanced sensors had mapped during their brief interaction. "They're afraid of us," observed Executive Officer Ramirez, studying the diplomatic transmissions their systems had intercepted. "Wouldn't you be?" Chen replied. "We've appeared without warning with technology they don't understand and capabilities that challenge their military assumptions. Still, they outnumber us thousands to 1. Ramirez pointed out. "If they decided to eliminate us." "They won't," Chen said firmly. "The Alliance has maintained peace for 2 millennia. They're cautious, not aggressive." Lieutenant Park approached with a data tablet. "Captain, we've completed analysis of the raider attack patterns. Something doesn't add up." Chen examined the findings with growing concern. The evidence suggested the Valhari raiders had been systematically attacking both human outposts and Alliance facilities, using methods designed to implicate the other party. "Someone's trying to prevent first contact," she said grimly. "The question is, who benefits from conflict between us?" The ship's eye, Athena, spoke through the room's audio system. "Captain, I've detected unusual transmission patterns in the quantum band. The raiders received external communications seconds before their attack." "Can you trace the source?" asked Chen. "Only a general direction," Athena replied. "Beyond Alliance space, approximately 20 light-years from our position." The mystery deepened when an emergency transmission from the Alliance Central World interrupted their investigation. "Captain Chen," High Commander Varix's voice came through with urgency. "We've received distress calls from Research Station Helios. They're under attack by what appears to be a human vessel." Chen's blood ran cold. "That's impossible. The Dauntless is the only human ship in this sector." "The attack pattern matches your weapon's signature precisely," Varix replied, suspicion evident in his voice. "Commander, we're being set up," Chen said firmly. "We detected similar manipulation tactics in previous raider attacks. Someone wants to prevent an alliance between our civilizations." There was a pause before Varix responded. "The Alliance Council has ordered your vessel to remain in position while a defense fleet investigates. Any attempt to move will be considered hostile action." Chen turned to her officers after the transmission ended. "Options. We could jump to FTL," suggested Ramirez. "Be halfway back to Earth before they could track us." Chen shook her head. "And confirm their suspicions that we're responsible." "No. We need to prove our innocence." She tapped her command console. "Athena, prepare all sensor data regarding the raider communications. Lieutenant Park, compile everything we know about the false flag operations." "Captain," Ramirez said quietly, "if we're right about a third party manipulating events, the research station might be in genuine danger." Chen nodded grimly. "And if we do nothing, people die and humans get blamed. If we intervene, we risk war with the Alliance." She straightened her uniform. "Set course for Research Station Helios. maximum speed. Let's hope we can prove our innocence before the Alliance decides we're too dangerous to exist. As the Dauntless broke orbit, alarms triggered across Alliance monitoring stations. The human ship had chosen a path that would forever change the course of galactic history. Alliance forged in fire. Research Station Helios hung in space like a delicate crystalline snowflake, its branching research modules extending from a central hub. Normally bustling with scientific activity, the station now drifted in eerie silence, emergency lights pulsing along its damaged sections. The Dauntless dropped out of FTL with precision, its sensors immediately scanning the vicinity. Captain Chen's worst fears were confirmed. A ship superficially resembling a human vessel was methodically firing upon the research station. Each blast targeted life support systems and evacuation routes rather than research data. The attackers wanted maximum casualties. Detailed scan of the attacking vessel, Chen ordered, her voice tight with controlled fury. Superficial resemblance only, reported Science Officer Lakshmi. Hull configuration mimics our design, but power signature is completely different. It's a sophisticated fake. Athena, record everything. Chen commanded the ship's eye. We'll need irrefutable evidence. The false human ship turned its attention to the Dauntless, firing a warning shot across their bow. They're transmitting on open Alliance frequencies, Communications Officer Harper announced. They're making sure everyone can hear this. Let's not disappoint them, Chen replied. Open a channel, maximum broadcast range. The view screen showed a being that appeared human at first glance, but Chen immediately noticed the subtle wrongness. Proportions slightly off, movements too fluid. This is Captain Chen of the UEF Dauntless. You are engaged in a false flag operation designed to provoke conflict. Power down and prepare to be boarded. The figure smiled unnaturally. You're too late, human. The Alliance will never trust you now. Your primitive species will be isolated and contained, as it should be. The transmission cut off as the vessel launched a barrage of missiles toward both the Dauntless and the crippled research station. Intercept those missiles, Chen ordered. Priority to protecting the station. The Dauntless's point defense systems activated with surgical precision, neutralizing the incoming threats one by one. Not a single missile reached the research station. Captain, Alliance Battle Group inbound, Harper reported. 5 minutes to intercept. They're charging weapons. Chen made her decision. Move us between the false ship and the research station. Deploy rescue shuttles. Lieutenant Park, prepare to transmit all our evidence to the Alliance fleet. The Dauntless positioned itself protectively before the damaged station, deploying its energy screen as the imposter vessel intensified its attack. The human ship absorbed the assault without returning fire, focusing instead on evacuation efforts. Sir, Communications Officer Harper called out, we're receiving a transmission from the research station. It's a thank you. Chen allowed herself a small smile. Put it through. The screen showed a slender insectoid being, one of the station's scientists. This is Chief Researcher Vix. Your intervention saved 42 lives. We know you are not the attackers. We saw the other ship arrive before you. I am transmitting our sensor logs to corroborate your innocence. Alliance vessels appeared at the edge of the system, their weapons fully charged. Incoming transmission from High Commander Verix, Harper announced. Verix appeared on screen, his expression impossible for humans to read. Captain Chen, explain yourself. Commander, we tracked the real attackers to this location. They're using a disguised vessel to frame humanity and prevent alliance between our civilizations. We have been focused on evacuating survivors from the station. The Alliance fleet will handle the evacuation, Verix replied. Stand down your ship and prepare to be boarded. Before Chen could respond, the imposter vessel launched a massive attack. Not at the Dauntless, but at the Alliance flagship. The Dauntless moved with incredible speed, intercepting the majority of the barrage. Its shields flared brilliantly before partially collapsing. Hull breach on decks 7 through 9, reported damage control. Casualties reported. The Alliance fleet, seeing the Dauntless take the hit meant for them, hesitated in their approach. "Now they're running," Tactical Officer Wong announced as the false ship abruptly turned and accelerated away from the confrontation. "Not this time," Chen said grimly. "Athena, tactical analysis." The AI responded instantly. "Target vessel's engine configuration suggests vulnerability to focused electromagnetic pulse at their aft shield junction." "Do it," ordered Chen. The Dauntless fired a precisely calibrated pulse that slipped through the enemy vessel's defenses, causing its engines to stutter and fail. The ship drifted helplessly. "Captain," Harper reported, "Commander Verix is hailing us again." Verix's image appeared, his posture noticeably different. "Captain Chen." Chief Researcher Vix has shared the station's sensor data. "It appears we misjudged the situation." "Commander, that vessel is key to understanding who's manipulating both our civilizations," Chen replied. "Request permission to board and secure evidence before they can destroy it." Verix conferred briefly with unseen advisors before responding. "Permission granted. We will provide support." The joint boarding operation revealed the truth. The imposter ship was crewed by mercenaries from beyond Alliance space, working for a shadowy organization called the Vex Consortium, a collection of species that had rejected Alliance membership and feared human expansion would upset their profitable smuggling operations in the border regions. More disturbing was the advanced technology found aboard, much of it stolen from Alliance research facilities or reverse-engineered from recovered human debris. The mercenaries had been studying both civilizations, identifying vulnerabilities, and manipulating events to prevent cooperation between them. 3 days later, Captain Chen stood in the Grand Assembly Hall before the Alliance Council, the first human to address the gathered representatives. "The evidence is conclusive," First Speaker Ulm declared. "The Vex Consortium has been attempting to isolate humanity and destabilize Alliance borders. The question remains, how shall we respond?" Chen stepped forward. "If I may speak, the United Earth Federation proposes a joint security initiative. The consortium clearly fears what our civilizations might accomplish together. Perhaps we should show them they were right to be afraid." Representative Thrix, previously one of humanity's strongest critics, clicked his mandibles thoughtfully. "Your ship took damage meant for our fleet. 23 of your crew were injured. Why?" "Because it was the right thing to do," Chen answered simply. "Humanity has always understood that the strongest alliances are forged in moments of crisis, when we choose to protect others despite the risk to ourselves." "Your technology," began Science Elder Mox. "It is different from ours. Your development path suggests intuitive leaps our methodical approach missed. And the Alliance has achieved feats of engineering we can only dream of," Chen countered. "Imagine what we might accomplish through collaboration rather than competition." High Commander Verix, standing to the side of the chamber, spoke for the first time. "I have witnessed the human vessel in combat. They fight with precision and restraint. When faced with the choice between destroying an enemy or protecting allies, they chose protection even at great cost to themselves. These are values the Alliance has always honored." First Speaker Ulm raised his hands for attention. "The Council will deliberate. Captain Chen, you have given us much to consider." 1 week later, at the edge of Alliance space, a disturbing scene unfolded. 3 Vex Consortium dreadnoughts surrounded a small Alliance science outpost, their weapons charged. The outpost's meager defenses couldn't hope to repel such a force. "Surrender your research data and prepare to be boarded," demanded the consortium commander. "The Alliance cannot protect you here." Suddenly, subspace ruptured as the Dauntless appeared, accompanied by 2 Alliance cruisers. "This is Captain Elena Chen of the Joint Human-Alliance Defense Force," her voice transmitted on all frequencies. "The outpost is under our protection. Withdraw immediately." The consortium commander laughed. 1 human ship and 2 light cruisers against 3 dreadnoughts. "Your courage exceeds your wisdom, Captain." Chen smiled. "I should mention one other thing. Humans are very, very good at making friends. Subspace ruptured again as 20 more ships appeared. A mixed fleet of human and Alliance vessels, their weapons trained on the consortium dreadnoughts. The Alliance Council and United Earth Federation have ratified the Mutual Defense Accord, Chen continued. This entire sector is now jointly protected. You have 1 minute to withdraw. The consortium ships, faced with unexpected unity, retreated hastily. On the bridge of the Dauntless, Chen turned to her newest crew member, Alliance Liaison Officer Jex, formerly of the Stellar Sentinel. You know, Jex observed, her four-fingered hand adjusting to the human control interface, the consortium was right about one thing. Together, our civilizations will change the galaxy forever. Chen nodded, watching the stars through the view screen. That was always the plan. Humanity has never been good at staying isolated. We were always meant to reach out, to connect. And now? Asked Jex. Now, replied Chen with a smile, we explore together. In the decades that followed, the Human-Alliance partnership would transform galactic civilization. Human adaptability combined with Alliance stability created scientific advances neither could have achieved alone. Trading routes flourished, cultural exchanges enriched both societies, and joint defense forces ensured peace across unprecedented regions of space. The galaxy would never be the same again. And it was all because one human captain chose protection over destruction at exactly the right moment. Sometimes, the most powerful weapons aren't the ones that destroy, but the ones that defend. And sometimes, the most significant victories come not from overwhelming force, but from the courage to reach out a hand in friendship when others expect a fist. The stars, it seemed, had room enough for everyone.